Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Syracuse. Welcome to this beautiful space on this beautiful, somewhat fall day. We would like to invite all of you to please stand, and we are going to sing for you about the house of God, because we are in the house of God today, aren't we?
Yes.
So everybody put your hands together.
House of God,
House of God,
come on in.
come on in.
Let's pray together. Let's jump right in.
Let's jump right in.
Oh, take my hand.
Take my hand,
Hold it tight.
hold it tight.
We're singing together, bringing in the light.
Bringing in the light.
House of God,
House of God,
come on in.
come on in.
Let's pray together. Let's jump right in.
Let's jump right in.
Everyone is welcome here.
Welcome here.
No boundaries, never no fear.
Never no fear.
House of God,
In the house of God.
Yeah,
come on in.
Come on in.
Let's pray together. We're gonna jump right in. Whoa,
Let's
jump right in.
and take my hand.
Take my hand.
Hold it tight.
Hold it tight.
We're singing together.
What are we doing?
We're bringing in the light.
Here we
Bringing in
go.
the light.
Oh, in the house of God.
In the house of God.
Oh,
Come on in.
Come on in.
Let's pray together. Let's jump right in.
Let's jump right in.
come on and take my hand.
Take my hand.
Oh,
Hold it tight.
Hold it tight.
We're singing together, bringing in the light.
let's do that again. Here we go. In the house of God.
In the house of God.
Oh,
Come on in.
Come on in.
Let's pray together.
yeah.
Let's jump right in.
Let's jump right in.
Oh, take my hand
Take my hand.
and
Hold it tight.
Hold it tight.
We're singing together.
what are we doing?
We're bringing in the light.
Bringing in the light.
We're singing together, bringing in the light.
Bringing in the light.
We're singing together, bringing in the light.
Bringing in the light,
Bringing in the light.
bringing in the light.
Bringing in the light.
Yeah. Go, go, go. Go. You should have had that done.
I thought we had Ann as platform assistant today. Is she? We can have Nancy.
Everybody, hey, we're trying to figure it all out, yeah? Aren't we always trying to do that? In the light, yes? I'm Reverend Edith Washington-Woods. I want to just welcome everyone here today. It looks like we have some folks who haven't been with us in a while and some new people. And I just want to just bring us into this now moment. Remembering the song that we just heard, we're bringing in the light. Welcome to God. Welcome to Unity of Syracuse. We're so grateful and thankful that we're all here celebrating together.
Yes, amen.
Thank you very much.
And I am not Ann, I'm Nancy Hazard, and I'd be glad to fill in as the platform assistant today. I think Ann is downstairs, so if anybody would like to go down and make sure she's in good shape, I'd appreciate that, guys. One of the ushers, perhaps. So again, we're so glad you're here this morning, here in person and watching us on live streaming. Thank you for joining us. We're going to open today's service by reading the daily word. The word for today, creative process. I am a divine expression of infinite creative energy. Symbolically, the 7 days of creation described in the Bible correspond to the 7 stages of the creative process. The book of Genesis also shares that humankind was created in the image of God. It stands to reason, then, that I must be an expression of that same divine energy and an essential part of the creative process. As such, I birth divine ideas into tangible expression in this mortal experience. The creative process is sparked by a vague restlessness, a dissatisfaction with what is. Ideas become manifest, and clarity begins to take shape when I surrender to the process and affirm I am a divine expression of infinite creative energy. And from Genesis 1:27, so God created humankind in his image. In the image of God he created them, male and female he created them. I did read this daily word this morning while I was eating my cereal, and it really struck me. In particular, the sentence about the creative process is sparked by a vague restlessness, a dissatisfaction with what is. Now, how many of you have had that feeling? Yes. Oh my goodness. And it's that restlessness, that sense of dissatisfaction is, I believe, suggesting look beyond the moment where you're at right now. What is it that's there for you to do, for you to consider as you as an expression of the divine? What is yours to do? So thank you for raising your hands and agreeing with me. All right, and now is the time for the children to go to YFM. Okay, children, if you would go to the back of the sanctuary and join your teachers, and we'll sing a blessing as you go.
We love you, we bless you, we truly, truly appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you.
And parents or adults who came with the children, please do remember that you're responsible for your kids once the church services are over. And please accompany them as they're downstairs and as they go through the food line. We appreciate that. Please now, if you would stand if you're able, and join me in our statement of being. It's displayed on the screen. God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. Thank you. is the moment where you can greet those around you. And please remember, if you don't want a hug, extend your hand.
So everyone, this song is about exactly what the Daily Word was talking about changing, about seeing a difference, about different things changing in your life. So if you want to see something different today, have a seat. And we're going to ask you to sing with us when we get to the chorus. But it's all about not wanting to hear anymore, but teaching us to listen. And we don't want to see anymore, but give us a vision that you could move this heart and be set apart.
I don't want to hear anymore. Teach me to listen. I don't want to see anymore. Give me a vision that you could move this heart and be set apart. I don't need to recognize the one in the mirror, and I don't want to trade your plan for something familiar. I can't waste the day, and I can't stay the same. I want to be different. I want to be changed till all that is gone, and all that remains is a fire so bright that the whole world can see that there's something different. So come and be different with me. And I don't want to spend my life stuck in a pattern, and I don't want to gain this world but lose what matters. And so I'm giving up everything because
What do you want?
I want to be different. I want to be changed.
My heart, oh God,
Till all that is gone, and all that remains is a fire so bright that the whole world can see that there's something different. So come and be different. That there's something different. So come and be different with me.
Thank you so much, Celebration Team. You are awesome as always. So now it's time for the announcements. And of course, there's lots of info in your bulletin, and I'm going to highlight a few things. Today, of course, for the prayer chaplains, we have our monthly meeting from 1 to 3 in the green room. Next Sunday, we encourage you all to bring friends to Unity. It is going to be Welcome Sunday, and it promises to be a very special time here. And also next Sunday, facilities team meeting is at 1:30, and again, that would be in the green room. If you are interested in hosting a dinner here at Unity of Syracuse, and that would be to also include preparing a vegetarian meal for 8 to 10 people, please see Reverend Edith. This Friday, the 14th, is the deadline to register for the Interfaith Dinner Dialogues. So again, if anyone feels comfortable stepping, even slightly uncomfortable but willing, to step up and be that vegetarian dinner cooker and host, that would be awesome. Please see Reverend Edith. Now, this Wednesday at 6:30 is our practical metaphysics class, the very first one. And that will be led by Patsy Scala and Reverend Edith. And after that class, and by the way, the book is available now in the bookstore, so do check that out as well. After that first class, we invite everyone to stay for the opening ceremony for the World Day of Prayer, and that is at 8 o'clock, or even just come at 8 o'clock if that works better for you. So do check that out. It is a wonderful opportunity to learn more about what our home, the big Unity Worldwide Ministries, is doing for World Day of Prayer, and that begins our work here. The following day, Thursday, from 6:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. is the World Day of Prayer Vigil. And that is followed by the Interfaith Prayer Service for Peace from 6 to 7. And again, please do check this out. It's wonderful, and Reverend Edith is going to come up and talk for a moment about the vigil.
Good morning again. So I want to highlight a few things. First of all, the dinner dialogues, they're amazing. We often have the most people that show up at them, and I don't know if people have been filling them out online or whatever, but we only have like 4 or 5 filled out here. So there are some, I believe, in the back, and if not, they're down in the bookstore. Just fill out your name and everything, and then they'll get in contact with you and let you know where you'll be going. The dinner dialogues are going to be on September 27th, Thursday, September 27th. And again, like Nancy was suggesting, if anyone wants to host one here, please see me, but you don't have to see me. Fill out the form and put host on there. And last year, I think Natalie and Rose made chili, vegetarian chili. So it doesn't have to be some great grand spread, because the most is getting together and talking with different faiths about questions like, what do you believe about death? You know, those kinds of things. Just one came to my mind. But it's a wonderful experience, so I encourage anyone who's interested, just fill the form out and go to a location that they give you and know that it's going to be wonderful. There is no charge. Secondly, I don't have the sheet. There it is. I put it right there. Can you hand me that gold thing right there? Yeah. So last week, in your bulletin, you had these little pieces of paper to make a list of friends. And I don't know, it was a bunch of them still in bulletins last week, and if you didn't get one, you can get one in the back. And what we wanted you to do is just put names of people that you would have on a prayer, making a prayer list of friends, and then you're going to take that list this week and go and invite those friends to come next week. So if you have not done so, I encourage you to do that, make the list. I would say duplicate that list on one of our little slips, because we mail those in to Silent Unity after 30 days. But take this list with you so you'll have people that you would like to invite here next week. And let's have a wonderful celebration. It's just a way for us to welcome people into who we are as Unity. And then lastly, the prayer vigil is Thursday. Our World Day of Prayer starts, as you heard, Wednesday evening. And then Thursday, we have a prayer vigil that's going to start at 6 and end at 6:30, half an hour increments. I want to pass this around and ask people, if you can, to sign up for a slot. If your slot that you'd like to take is already taken, just put your name next to it. And let's get this thing filled up. We have 3 names right now. So here, Lucy, I'm going to hand it to you. Thank you very much. And just know that, you know, we make a difference here in this world. As long as we know and understand that we are love, God is love, and that is us, then we just give. We give because giving is fun. Thank you very much.
If you haven't already participated in the World Day of the Vigil, that day-long vigil, I urge you to sign up. It's only a half-hour commitment. Often you have the sanctuary just to yourself. There will be prayers that you can look at to use here, right here in the front. Or you can just sit in your own state of prayer. It is a wonderful, wonderful experience. I'm actually getting goosebumps right now talking about it. So please do sign up for it. It's beautiful. Okay, and of course now we'd like to warmly welcome our guests. I know we have at least one young woman here for the second time, Mariah. Thank you for joining us. Anybody else here who hasn't been here before? I'm sorry. This is their second or third time visiting? Oh, I'm sorry. And your name is Steve. Steve and Mariah, thank you. Anybody else? Okay. So glad you're joining us. How about if you haven't been here for a long time, but you're returning? And Deanne, welcome. Oh, okay. Great. So thank you. And now here for the very first time, we've got Phil in the back and Heather. Thank you so much for joining us today. That's awesome. Now, we do have a gift for the newbies. For Phil and Heather, you're going to be receiving a candle from an usher along with a packet of information. There's a form attached to the packet. We'd love it if you would fill that out and take it to the bookstore after the service, and you'll be getting another gift. And Mariah and Steve, you two stop down at the bookstore and you'll get another gift, okay? And Deanne, okay? Stop down at the bookstore for a free gift after the service, okay? Now, the gift of the candle that Philip and Heather have received, that is a representation of the light within you. Okay, so when you light that candle, we encourage you to recognize that the Christ rests within you and that we would be so grateful to have you join us again. And of course, everybody's invited to stay after the service for fellowship, some refreshments, and I think there's some really good refreshments today. The 5 basic principles is next. So on the screen, you'll see Unity's 5 basic principles, the basic tenets of unity. Can I see a show a few people, 1 or 2 people who'd like to say how one of these principles has shown up in your life today or this week, or even in the last couple weeks? Lucy, he's coming up with a microphone for you, Lucy.
Hi, everybody. Before I came to Unity, prayer was new to me, and it did not come naturally to me. But after 3 years, I finally have accepted it into my life. But occasionally I forget, and I've had some people at work that I just couldn't figure out, and I just needed to relate to. And I forgot that I could pray. So I said, hello, Lucy, why don't you just pray? I have to tell you, major miracles happened this week at work. And I just went in, and it happened. And I just had this awesome, awesome week in so many ways. So it's just a wonderful reminder to me, don't forget about prayer, and it really can work. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's wonderful.
Thank you, Lucy. One other person? Okay, Ray?
Good morning. I'm Ray Stoffel. I'm one of the board members here. So this is a little bit of 3 and a lot of 5. So at our last town hall meeting, Christina Michelson reminded us that years ago when we needed help, we would do that individually. So a bunch of us got together and called a bunch of you on the phone and said, come to our barbecue and help. And it was amazing. Your turnout was amazing. So personally and for the board, thank you so much for that turnout. But the real truth is 5. You live these principles in your lives. You constantly bring that to me as an individual and constantly bring your very best of your time and your treasure. And as your treasurer, I love that part, and your talents. So thank you very much. And I heard we had a great day.
Thank you, Ray. And now we will be blessing our prayer requests. And the prayer chaplains that are serving today, would you please stand? Prayer chaplains for today are Chris Michelson, who's with the children right now, and Mina, you're serving with the prayer box. We're going to bring that up forward, aren't you? Okay. Okay, every Sunday we have a silent time of meditation from 10:30 to 10:45, and from 10:45 to 10:55, prayer chaplains are available to pray with you up here down in the fellowship hall. And at this time, we're going to bless all of our prayer intentions. And of course, after the service, Christina will be available for prayer as well.
Good morning. Come on. Okie dokie. There we go. That's a little better. So, divine Mother, Father, God, everywhere present, thank you in advance for the reminder that the prayers in this box, the prayers on our hearts, in our heads, those prayers are already being answered. And our trust and our faith and our believing carry us on the wings of love and peace, understanding, kindness, generosity. We are grateful, grateful, grateful for all the goodness in our lives. We're grateful for each other. And we're grateful for the peace that we hold in our hearts for the world. And for all this and so much more, we say thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Amen.
And now is our time, the time that we pause for meditation. Now, some of you may have already joined me in closing your eyes, and if you have not, I invite you to do so. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, I simply ask that you focus on one spot in the room. Perhaps it's this Christ light, or the spot right in front of the seat where you're sitting, or on your lap. For we affirm that there is no spot where God is not. So simply let go. Letting go in this moment, letting go of everything it took to get here and anything else we have to go on throughout this day. Just be in this now moment. Entering into this most sacred, holy moment that we are creating. Letting God and letting go. Letting God and letting go. And as we move gently into this sacred time, we take into these moments, these words. I am listening. I am listening. I am listening to you. For there is this place within us that is so amazing, so full of light, that when we acknowledge it, all we need to do then is to practice the presence. And so we take a pause to practice the presence by turning within and taking these words with us. I am listening. I am listening. I am listening. In the silence, we go deeper as one together. I am listening. I am listening. I am. I am. I am listening. I am listening to you, the infinite presence within me. I am pregnant with the knowledge of the divine which resides in me and all there is. I am. And in this moment of sacred awareness, we acknowledge that presence. We also acknowledge all the prayer intentions in our prayer box, affirming the highest and best in this moment. And I invite you to call upon someone in your mind that you may know is in need of prayer, in need of someone holding a high watch for them. It could be yourself. It could be the world. And so we bring into this space the highest intention for all, for ourselves, for all of us in this sanctuary that represent our inner sanctuary, for everyone in this city, this wonderful state of New York, the United States of America, and all its leaders. We bring light to all the leaders now and love. Unconditional love. And we spread that throughout this entire world, knowing that we are love and anything and everything is possible. In this moment, we are holding a high watch, and so it is, and so we let it be us. Amen. and amen, and amen. Good morning, everybody. I know you know who I am, right? I know I was gone for a week and you didn't forget, did you? I'm just saying. Hey, I'm Reverend Edith Washington-Woods. I'm so grateful. Because, you know, everybody wasn't here right in the beginning, so that's just how it happens, right? Some of you guys show up when you show up. It's all great. Oh, yo, I didn't do anything. Ah, wow, what a wonderful song. Did you feel your heart just opening up with that I Am Love? Our celebration team is amazing. Give them a hand. Yeah. So amazing. So very amazing. Well, I have a couple of things I want to tell you. You are loved. Do you believe it? Do you really believe it? Yes. I don't know. I wouldn't know if you know. Sometimes we don't know, right? Sometimes we get messages that tell us things, that tell us we are or are not a certain thing. Okay, great, this just went to sleep. So while I'm getting my tablet to work again, hold on just a second, here we go. There we go. So I have this book called The Path, and in this thing, I got to reading this chapter titled, Who Are You? And the author of this book is Lori Beth Jones, if you wanted to know. And she quotes someone named Barbara Schurer, who wrote a book called I Can Do Anything If I Could Only Figure Out What I Want. Wouldn't you do that if you could do anything, if you could figure out what you want? So this lady, she would tell people to do exercises and write down what their relatives wanted them to be, whether it was their father, their mother, their grandmothers, aunts, uncles, siblings, and all of that. And the reader was then to take what they wrote and draw a composite picture of what that person so described they would look like. All those expectations managed to take shape in that only, like only one person. So the author, she did it, and this is what her drawing looked like. She said it showed a woman carrying the scales of justice, a sword of courage, a typewriter, it dates her, I know, a tennis racket, a torch, various trophies, a thesaurus, why can't I say that word? A turkey dinner for the homeless, a briefcase, preferably full of money, and she would be standing at a podium reading from the Bible and have one foot in high heels and the other in tennis shoes. She was wearing blue jeans under her fully fashioned, coordinated two-piece suit and had a spiffy red sports car, you gotta have that, right? Waiting for her when she got out of the door. Well, that's what they wanted her to have. And how could she possibly live up to that? We heard that song, I Want to Be Different. I want to be changed. Well, if we were living up to all those expectations, do you think we'd be different? You know, as children, we heard a lot of things, didn't we? Yeah, did you? Yeah. And some of those things might have been things like, you're so annoying. You didn't get that right. Your brother did, but you didn't. I don't like you right now. You know, like if you're being bad. You're just like your mother. You're just like your father. Stop crying. Suck it up. If you were only good, you could get whatever you want from me. If you don't get good grades, you will not go to college. Did you ever hear some of that stuff? But what about if you also heard at times, you can do it. I believe in you. Great job. Keep trying. I'm glad you're in my life. You mean a lot to me. I appreciate you. You can do anything, absolutely anything. I want the best for you. Congratulations. I love you. Hey, come give me a hug. Perhaps you heard that too. But when I heard those things, it kind of looked like this. I was hearing all these mixed messages. And in the middle, here I am, a little kid, with a whole bunch of question marks around that. Like, what? Who am I? What am I supposed to be? How am I supposed to do that? And it seemed like at times, my life was full of crisis. Because I couldn't figure out whether I was a good girl or a bad girl. If I was going to measure up or if I wasn't. If I was like my mother or if I was like my father. And it's usually the other one telling me that. And it's very interesting that these titles for these titles for these lessons, these sermons, whatever you want to call it, come up a couple months and then something happens. Like my dad turned 82 on Friday and I forgot 5 times to call him. 5 times. And it was 11 o'clock and I got home and went, oh gosh, I forgot again, dang. So of course, what was I thinking? Oh, you're a bad little girl, you didn't. And all your other siblings probably said hello and happy birthday and you didn't. And then during the chicken barbecue, I finds out that my cousin had transitioned. So I called, my brother called, I couldn't talk to him. I called him back, he said, I'm at the funeral. I'm like, well, why'd you answer the phone? So I said to him, is your dad there? Yes, he is. Well, please go tell him that I said happy birthday and I love him and give him a hug. And I went, phew, phew. Yeah. So I made sure I called my dad later on and he said, yeah, your brother told me, and he gave me a hug. And I was like, okay. But here I am holding all this stuff, right? The stuff that comes from the past. That not the good stuff. Why is it we focus on the bad stuff? The bad stuff is coming up, slapping me on the back of my head like they would do. Hey, wake up. And my dad was like just loving and generous when we had this long talk, 42 minutes. And I hadn't talked to him in over a year. But it was as if we had just talked the day before. And he didn't tell me all those things about, well, why you called me yesterday? It was all swimming around in my head. And in the book that we're studying, the Endless Practice, Mark Nepo says that beyond any one crisis or blessing, the way our path unfolds depend on which voices we listen to. So remember the voice of, am I a good girl? The voice of, am I a bad girl? Which one did I listen to yesterday and Friday? I know, it's crazy that we get to listen to it. And guess what? The 2 voices that we're talking about is the voice of our head or the voice in our heart. That voice in our heart is connected to God, to spirit, to infinite presence. It's all has to do with the way we think. Now, Buddha said this, and Unity people do too. What we think, we become. Yes? Want to say that together? What we think, we become. But wait a minute. Okay, I got it. But what about the time when you get the call on the phone or you get an email or something like that? You know, the call that you get from your family, like my brother when he called me yesterday. Or you get the email from a superior. Do you ever start wondering, oh man, they want to see me. Whoa, what did I do wrong? Oh yeah, how many of you do that? You don't have to raise your hand. I don't want you to tell on yourself because I know it's probably everyone in here. You get that call and you went, yeah, oh my goodness. Something's wrong. I'm being bad again. And all it is, folks, is the old tape. Those things from when we were 5. And then what do we want to do? For me, I just want to run. Let me get as far away as I can, get out of here, get out of jail free, to collect $200. Pew, I'm out. And I put on the old protections. Those things that I think I need to do or say to protect myself. Why? Because I don't want to get hurt. None of us want to get hurt. And yet, we just want to be loved. And what do we do? How do we do that? Mark Nepo again says in his book, he says that it's natural enough to retreat in new situations and put on old protections like familiar clothes. Yeah. So we put them on, we dress them up, we get that call, and we say, yep, I don't like you, and I know you don't like me either. It's a protection. It is a protection. Animals have protections. Pepe Le Pew. I just remembered that. Remember that cartoon, Pepe Le Pew? Woo. And they have natural protections to keep people from, people, yeah. I think I would get away from a skunk if it came, yeah. Got to get away fast or get some tomato juice, right? Isn't that it? Or maybe, perhaps, it's another protection that happens with the turtle. You got a little turtle, he's got his head out, his feet out, he's walking around really slow, and then here comes a predator. And what does he do? He goes, he sucks his head in, he sucks his feet in, into this little, and there he is, and the cover is there. I'm protected, you can't get me, I got my wall up. But how many times are we like that? How many times are we walking around with a wall of protection because we don't want to get hurt? Because we've been hurt before, and we know what that feels like, yes? And sometimes that hurt comes from our family. Sometimes that hurt comes from our past relationships with people. Husbands, wives, fill in the blank. And if we don't want to do that, we just put our little armor on. Is that really who we are now? Who we are people who understand that is something inside of us that is profound, that is amazing, that is a light that is shining brightly as us. And those old protections really don't fit anymore. They don't. And yet, we call them up. Now, in our Bible verse today, it comes from Jesus going to this wedding, and the wedding people, they ran out of wine. And people love to get drunk. And so this is what happened. They put the wine in, or at least they thought about it, and they said, no. In Mark chapter 2, verse 22, no one pours new wine into old wineskins. They would burst. The wine would be spilled out and the wineskins ruined. New wine needs fresh wineskins. Now, metaphysically, and for those who don't know, metaphysically means beyond the physical, beyond what we think is there, beyond what is appearing to be real for us, like those protections. Putting new wine into fresh wineskin indicates what is possible for us. What is possible for us because there is this light, this kingdom that is within us. Now, in Discover the Power Within You, Eric Butterworth, yeah, it does say Eric. I thought you said Butterworth. I want you to think it was talking about the lady with the pancake syrup. Okay. The kingdom of God, the wealth of the universe, was within the depth potential within him. I'm going to add or her. All we have to do is remember we have transformed our thinking. That whenever we think we need approval for someone else out there, like my dad the other day, that our approval lies within. That we don't have to put up a wall anymore. Because there is this place, this place that is most loving and generous to us. This place that when I heard that song, I Am Love, and I already knew you were going to sing it, but I was just like, oh, yeah. And I felt these God bumps come all over my body. I don't know if anybody felt that, but I felt it. I was experiencing love. And if we take the walls down, there is only love there. There's no fear. We don't have to fear. We never need to fear. We never need to put up a wall. That we allow ourselves to feel and experience love. For God is love. We are love. I am love. Now, in our book, I'm going to grab it, change books here. In our book, Mark Nepo, he says, he starts talking about this, a form of art in Japan called kintsugi, I think is how you say it. I hope it's how you say it. And in kintsugi, there are things, let's call it a pot like this, right here, like this. And they have cracks in them, and then they fill the cracks with gold because they believe that the cracks and wear of life make things more beautiful, not less. But he believes that it's not filling the cracks, but entering the cracks that reveals the gold. So if you could see this like I saw it, yeah, okay. So look at that bowl, and all of the stuff around. I'm gonna see if I can do that. Yeah, there we go. See all of that? If you could see it closer, you would see that this was already in it. That the gold of us is already within who we are. He goes on to say that we carry, oh, that's not it. What happened? There we go. We carry what matters inside and experience waters that seed until the soul spouts through our cracks into the world. That's who we are. Think about it for a minute. You know how you got those cracks in your driveway or, the sidewalk or whatever? And you see things growing out of it? The seed was already there. It was already within it. And as it was seeking to emerge, it started germinating and creating itself and coming out, breaking wide open. And that gold was already there. It was already within it. And out comes this beautiful little creature. And people call it a weed. Oh, wow. Oh. But it was seeking to emerge. It was beautiful. It was amazing. It thinks it is. We might not think so. We are just like that. If I metaphysically interpret this, I know that seed that is love, that is God, that is infinite presence, is already within us, seeking to emerge. Which voice do we listen to? You see, this seed that I'm talking about is the most exquisite piece within us. It is like a fine diamond. It is like a gem that is waiting to be discovered in a cave that was just sitting there for thousands of years. That all we have to do is uncover whatever was on the outer to bring which is within us to the outer. All we have to know is when we are listening to that still small voice, that it leads us, that it guides us, that no one can tell us those things that we heard earlier. No one can say you're annoying. No one can say you're not good enough. No one can say you're not going to measure up. No one can say you're like your mother or your father, unless we like that part. No one can tell us things that bring us down. We don't have to be brought down. We have to be lifted up. We lift ourselves up, and then we lift other people up. That's the practice. Yes? The practice that we're talking about in these 5 principles is the practice of unconditional love. Now, what do we have to do to get there? We have to take off our armor. We have to take off those things that protect us. Because sometimes those things are merely keeping us from feeling love. They're keeping us from doing that. And so in this world today, with whatever it is that's going on and all the fear about this and that and the other thing, and the politicians doing this, one person don't like each other, the Democrats don't like each other, the Republicans don't like each other, the independents say forget about them. Hey, we're all in this thing together, whoever we are and whatever we represent. What about those family members? You know, the ones we don't like. We're all in this together. And when we take off the armor of protection because they hurt us or they said something that we didn't care for, or we thought that it was something from when we were 5, when we take it off, all we have is love. I am love. I am love. I'm willing to listen. And then Charles Fillmore, our co-founder, in Jesus Christ Heals, that's the book, he said, the primal world of causes is within. And it is to this inner realm that we must look for the transforming power of man. And I'm going to add in women. Again, when old patterns, old beliefs, all of those old walls of protection go up, we must know that we are already transformed because our mind has been renewed by listening to the still small voice. Are we willing to listen? Are we willing to listen? I am love. I am love. I am love. Listen to the still small voice. It is always, always leading and guiding us. Always. It's up to us to make the choice. Our affirmation for today can assist us with where we are trying to get to in our practice. Here it goes. I am transformed by listening to you, the still small voice within. Can we say that together? Together, please. I am transformed by listening to you, the still small voice within. Take those words in. Take them in. And say these words, sing these words with me again. Like that affirmation depends on our country, on our leaders, whoever they are, and on the world. Let's sing it together. I am love. I am love. I am love. Now open up your eyes and say this affirmation again. Together. I am transformed by listening to you, the still small voice within me. And so it is. And so we let it be us. Namaste. I love you. And now it's time for our tithes, love offerings, and gifts. Yes, another way to show our love. And know that next week we'll be sending our extra tithe to the people in Puerto Rico through Unity Worldwide Ministry. The ministry's there and some of the people there. That'll be going out this next week. Puerto Rico. To Puerto Rico. When are we going? I'm going next year. Are you going to go too? Okay. That's a side note. Anyway, I'm just feeling this love. It's just like, oh, gosh, it feels so good. Just open up and receive it. Let's say our love offering, blessing together, receiving love again and giving it away, receiving it and giving it. May we say this love offering blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. You are my source.
Of your magnificence, to all the wonders that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved.
We're here to remind each other who we truly are. Thank you. We're here to remind each other what love looks like. So, what does Gandhi have to say about it all? Where there is love, there is life. There we go. We'll take that. Yes. And now we just take a moment to continue this love fest. I call it the love train. Okay, I got it. I got it in. Yes, I hear you. I hear those hands allowing the energy and radiation of unconditional love in our heart and in our body to flow through our hands to bless this money substance and all the money substance that has come into this community in this past week. Be a love string, pushing that donate button downstairs in the bookstore, by swiping a card, by their monthly giving, those who have, automatic giving. We're blessing it all. Because we are affirming right now, Mother, Father, everything, God, that everything is possible. We give thanks for the abundance of love, of light, the abundance of all that we give, the abundance of the ways we give. Like yesterday, so many people coming and giving of themselves for a greater cause. We give thanks for the love that we generated and we'll generate when the children come into the room. We give thanks for all that we get to be and practice love's presence. We're grateful for listening to the still small voice. And so it is. And so we let it be us. Amen. And amen. And amen. Thank you so much. Okay, I hear them. Do we hear them? Yep. Here they come. Welcome back, Youth Family Ministry. Oh my gosh, summer is gone. You're back in school. I know you're loving it, right? And we're so glad that you're here today. We're so happy to see all of you in your bright, sunshiny faces. Hello. Hi. Hey, Natalie.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
So I just wanted to announce these children's names so you can get a face with a name and say hi to them when they go. So very gently and softly, Curtis, please say your name.
I'm Thomas.
Okay.
Sophia. Curtis. L.
I'm going to go away with this.
Real tall.
Brayden.
Tavion.
Sydney.
Delilah.
Delilah.
Todrick.
Todrick.
Kirsten.
Houston. Kirsten.
Chris.
Yay.
I wanted to welcome Elle and Delilah. It's their first time, and they're stepping right in.
Yay, 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 yay.
And welcome back, Braden. It's been a little bit, but I'm happy to hear that you're here. Awesome to see everybody, and thank you, Tavion, for being here every week. You're awesome, buddy. Todrick, you too, and Thomas, you guys really hold it down. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you, Sydney and Kirsten. It's so glad to have you back. Bottle and Can Drive was a success. We have about $56, I think, in cans, so thank you guys. We're always collecting, so feel free to bring your bottles and cans any Sunday. Today we talked about what we need to give up in order to enter the kingdom of God.
Oh.
And
okay.
Todrick, what did you say that you were willing to give up? What were you saying?
Anger.
Oh, anger.
Okay, and Tavion, what did you say you're willing to give up?
Video game.
Oh, video.
Video game.
Uh-oh.
Tavion's willing to give up video games.
Wow. We'll have to hold him to that, right, Coach?
Moderation, right?
Yeah.
Balance. What's that, Curtis?
Yeah, he is.
So I got a little announcement I got to share with everybody, and it's pretty heavy on my heart. I have made the decision to step down as director of the Youth and Family Ministry. I'm still going to be a teacher, but I want to take kind of a more in the background role. It's been an honor these past 4 years, and I will be stepping down about the end of the year. So if anybody feels the call to support this wonderful group of people with me and with the teachers like Chris and Dana and Byron and can, please let me know. But this is a process, and I see it as being all good. So I want to just thank you guys for your love and support. Really couldn't do it with Reverend Edith and the board and also everybody in this congregation. So thank you very much.
Love you. Love you. So let's right now love and appreciate Miss Natalie with our unity blessing. How about that? Together, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, we really love you. Okay, here we go. We love you, we bless you, and we truly, truly appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are. We love you, we really, really love you. Mwah! Thanks, Natalie. Okay, all right. So, it is time for us to have our children's blessing and affirmation. And remember, as children, wherever they are, our children across the world and country and whatnot. Let's say it together. We bless our children wherever they are. We see them surrounded by love and light throughout the week. We have a thriving, expanded youth and family ministry. Yes, we do. And our prayer for protection: the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right.